Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Naeem bin Sainuddin, number student 2024435922. And today I'm going to present a topic that is widely used in Islamic financial institution and business, which is ijarah tashghiliyah, or in English operating lease in Islamic finance. This contract is very useful, especially for a business that want to use asset without buying them in a way that follows Sharia law. Throughout this presentation, I will explain what ijarah tashghiliyah is, how it works, its features, condition, and how it is applied in real life. Let's begin. First, let's understand the basic definition. The word ijarah comes from the Arabic root ajar, means compensation or reward. In Islamic finance, ijarah is a leasing contract where the lessor give the lease the right to use an asset for a specific period in exchange for a rental payment. Ijarah tashghiliyah specifically refer to an operating lease, which means the ownership of the asset remains with the lessor and does not transfer to the leaser. This is different from another type, ijarah muntahiyah bi tamlik, where the asset eventually sold the leaser at the end of the lease. Ijarah tashghiliyah is common for things like vehicle, machinery, buildings, and equipment. Now let's look at how it works. In an ijarah tashghiliyah contract, the lessor owns a tangible asset, for example a truck or office building, and agrees to let the lessor use it for a set time, like 1 year or 5 years. The lessor pays a rental fee, usually monthly or quarterly, and the important point here is the ownership stay with the lessor. The lessor will never owns the asset even after the contract ends. This allows the lessor to benefit from the asset without needing to buy it. Also, the asset must be halal. For example, a truck for transporting halal goods is okay, but leasing a nightclub building will not be allowed. So there are several features that makes ijarah tashghiliyah unique and Sharia compliant. First is ownership. The lessor keeps ownership of the asset. And second, the lessor only has the right to use the asset, not to sell or modify it without permission. Third, the rental payment are fixed and agreed upon in advance. Fourth, major maintenance such as engine repair or structure damage is the responsibility of the lessor, while minor maintenance like oil changes or cleaning is usually done by lessor. Finally, all terms must be clear, transparent, lawful, with no hidden interest or excessive uncertainty. According to Islamic principle, certain conditions must be fulfilled for the ijarah contract to be valid. First, the asset must exist at the time the contract is signed. You cannot list something that doesn't exist yet. Second, the purpose of usage must be clearly defined. For example, using a warehouse for storage, not for illegal purpose. Third, the rental amount must be fixed and agreed upon. You cannot say pay whatever you want. Fourth is the lessor must own the asset during the lease period. And lastly, the duties and rights of both parties must be stated clearly in the contract to avoid disputes. Now let's talk more about the roles and responsibilities. The lessor is the party who owns the asset. They must provide the asset is usable and condition and perform major repairs when needed. The lessor and on the other hand is the one who pays the rental and uses the asset for the allowed purpose. For example, if a company lease a truck, they can use it for delivery but not for racing. Also, the lease must take good care of the asset and return it in reasonable condition after the lease end. If the truck get damaged due to misuse, and the lease may be held responsible. These clear roles help protect both sides and ensure fairness. So how ijarah tashghiliyah different from conventional leasing? In a conventional lease, the rental payment may include interest, which is riba and not allowed in Islam. Also, in some conventional contract, the risk and responsibility shift to the lease, even if they don't own the asset. In ijarah, the lessor always bear the risk of ownership. If the asset is destroyed through no fault of the lease, the lessor bears the loss. Ijarah contract are also asset-backed, meaning there must be a real physical asset involved, not just money lending. This makes ijarah more ethical, more stable, and more aligned with Islamic values. Now let's look at how this concept is used in the real world. For example, an Islamic bank may lease computers and office furniture to its branch under ijarah tashghiliyah, or a halal logistic company may lease a fleet or refrigerated trucks for food delivery. Even government agency in Muslim country lease buildings and equipment using this method to avoid interest-based financing. In Malaysia, companies like Bank Islam and Maybank Islamic is offer ijarah-based leasing product. It's also popular in GCC countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. This real life application show how flexible and powerful this contract in modern Islamic finance. So to conclude, ijarah tashghiliyah is an important tool in Islamic finance. It allows business and individual to benefit from asset without borrowing money or paying interest. It encourages real economic activities because it is based on a real asset and fair contract. With clear rules, risk sharing, and ethical value, ijarah help achieve the goals of maqasid al-sharia, like justice, transparency, and social welfare. That's all from me. Thank you.